Hi guys, it's your boy Rich. I'm down here. I'm way down here. Can you see me? Yeah, I feel kind of small next to Invicta. Hold on. Let me get back to my original seat. There, that's better. And let's talk Invicta and their luxury lineup of watches. I know what you're thinking, but let's see if they're worth it. Invicta is known as a fashion brand. After all, they make their second home on one of the home shopping networks. And without exaggeration, I've seen them sell 3 watches bundled together with extra straps and its own carrying case for 99 bucks. This is what Invicta is known for. But we're going to look at Invicta's 5 most expensive watches and see how they compare against the competition, the big boys. So here's a real quick history on Invicta. Although they say they've been around since 1837, they haven't always been around since 1837, meaning there have been periods of dormancy because they've changed hands/owners throughout the years, up until around early 2000s when Errol Leal took over the brand and renamed them back to Invicta. They've changed their brand's name throughout history and now have been solidified as Invicta. And when we think of Invicta, we think of affordable, really affordable large watches. So here's a list of their most expensive watches. Okay, let's start with Invicta's 5th most expensive watch, and that's their 14629 Russian Diver. And the first thing we're probably going to notice about this watch is that front panel, which is also removable. Okay, kind of gimmicky, but also kind of cool. It reminds me of a window on a submarine. It uses a genuine calfskin leather strap, a synthetic sapphire crystal, a 17-jewel Swiss mechanical movement with a dive depth of 3,280 feet. Okay, pretty good specifications. And regarding their movements, they either use a quartz, a Solida, or a seagull movement. This is also priced at $2,100, which puts it up against many of the Mont Blanc watches, such as a Time Walker, a Seiko Presage, or some of the Tag Heuers, such as the Formula One. Invicta's 4th most expensive watch is their Invicta's 4th most expensive watch is their 4841 Reserve Specialty Chronograph. It's 52 millimeters, it has a sapphire crystal, it uses a Solida movement, but it's also gold plating. And it's priced at $2,800, which means you can get the Mont Blancs, the Seikos, the Tag Heuers, but you can also add a Nomos Club to its competition. Invicta's 3rd most expensive watch is their Subaqua Nova 3 chronograph. This is a hybrid analog digital using a quartz movement. While I like its light blue dial, it's also priced at $3,000, which puts it up against a Tudor Fast Rider or nearly a Tudor 58 and a lot of Omega models. The next watch is Jason Taylor's 14312B WB analog Swiss watch using 42 black diamonds. And for those of you who don't know who Jason Taylor is, he used to play professional football. He used to play for the Washington Redskins and the Miami Dolphins, and he was actually a really good player. In fact, the Jason Taylor lineup of watches makes up most of Invicta's most expensive watches. And this model is priced at $7,000, which puts it up against Rolex, Omega, IWC, the Tag Heuer Steve McQueen, Zenith. The choices are wide open at $7,000. There is no reason for this watch to cost that much using a quartz movement. Clearly, a large part of its price is its 42 black diamonds. And the last watch that tried this marketing technique was the Javril Avenue of Americas, which I used to own, minus the diamonds. But at least they would mention that the quality of the diamonds. Javril used to advertise them as top Wesselton diamonds, which are really high quality diamonds. Here we don't know what kind of diamonds they are other than black diamonds. And now we can find a Javril Avenue of Americas for pennies on the dollar. And now for the most expensive watch in Invicta's current lineup, and that's another Jason Taylor. This one is in two-tone, it's in stainless steel, and it uses the same black ion plating as the previous Jason Taylor. It also uses the same 42 black diamonds. It has a Solida movement, sapphire crystal, and is water resistant to 1,640 feet. And it's priced at $13,000. $13,000. There is no reason for this watch to cost this much. In fact, at this price point, our choices are wide open. We're now entering Brigade territory or Vacheron territory. So $13,000, it's unfathomable to think this watch would cost that much. And even though that Jason Taylor is the most expensive watch in Invicta's current lineup, it is not the most expensive Invicta watch. The most expensive Invicta watch is their Reserve 18707 model. It's in 48 millimeters. It uses 46 clear diamonds. It uses a Solita 500 movement. It's 25 joules and it beats at 28.8. There isn't anything wrong with the Solita movement. In fact, if those of us who aren't familiar with the Solita, a Solita is basically a clone of an ETA movement. That movements are actually really quality movements. Solita's been able to clone some of the ETA movements because some of the ETA patents have expired. And this watch was priced at $23,000. Now, we're not going to pay $23,000. And in fact, to be fair to Invicta, we wouldn't pay any of these retail prices. In fact, on their own website, they have a flashing coupon for 30% off of their watches. This watch was listed at $23,000, but I've seen it for as little as $4,000 on Amazon. Is it worth $4,000? No. You are getting the clear diamonds, but this is not a $23,000 watch. This is not even a $4,000 watch.
Bust it.
I don't have anything against Invicta. They clearly have an audience. And based on their bold and aggressive designs, along with their lower price points, it would be suggestive that their demographic is a young audience. But I don't think Invicta should be entering the luxury watch segment with these offerings, even though these high prices would suggest these are high-end watches. Invicta's use of a sapphire crystal or a genuine calfskin strap or their mechanical movement, whether it's a Solita or Seagulls, are definitely upgrades to their cheaper lines of watches. But they're also the most basic features of a real watch, the ones these are priced up against. And while I don't think Invicta is incapable of making a real high-end watch, I think they fall short with this lineup at this prices. So does this mean I wouldn't wear any Invictas? Well, it's kind of true. I wouldn't wear any of Invicta's current iterations. But I would wear some of their earlier lineups. So we're going to have to rewind and go back in time to when Invicta was a better watch. I had to enter the vintage era to find my favorite Invictas. And the first one I came across is this chronograph in 36 millimeters using a mechanical movement. I also came across this chronograph in 37 millimeters in rose gold, solid rose gold. And both of these are priced in the $800 to $900 range. But my favorite Invicta in the vintage era is this one in 39 millimeters in solid 18 karat rose gold. And it's priced at $3,900. I would wear any of these Invictas over the current Invictas at the more expensive prices. Invicta provides a nice service, and they carved out a really nice niche for themselves with their stylish, oversized, and affordable watches. But I think Invicta should stay in their lane until they can figure out a way to make a really high-end watch to justify the prices that they're asking. But I also think they will have an uphill climb if they want to be taken seriously, as long as they continue to sell their watches on a home shopping network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next time. It's understandable for any company to evolve over time, but I wonder what the original founder of Invicta would feel about the current designs bearing the Invicta name. Yep, what you said.